I want to talk about painting and scribbling and how therapeutic it is to just paint abstractly, to scribble without any plan, without any vision in mind, and to just trust the movement, trust the speed of your scribbling, the speed of your painting, the colors that you use, and just letting your intuition guide you without any preconceived notion. There's really something powerful about allowing your hand to move freely without controlling it as much. And we are controlling the way we're moving the pen, but at the same time, we don't really have an image in mind. There's no goal in mind. And I think sometimes it's a really cathartic experience. It's very comforting. It's very relaxing to just allow yourself to move freely on paper, to be able to use different kinds of colors, different kinds of strokes, different kinds of movement with a pen, with a brush. And I find this to be so freeing, and it just makes you feel like you're stepping out of normal reality and breaking free, even if it's just on paper, wherein you don't need to follow the rules, you don't need to have a specific outcome. You can just allow yourself to be. You can just allow yourself to unravel on paper. And I think it's a beautiful process, and it's something that really makes me feel very peaceful. It's a very peaceful experience, and you should try it out. Lately, with my coaching clients, there's been this recurring theme of a lot of people wanting to take a leap of faith. And I think that this deep desire to want to transform your life comes from knowing that life is passing by and we don't want to waste our time. You want to live fulfilling, purpose-driven lives. And yeah, there's a reality that we need to work to earn money, pay bills, maintain our lives. But the thing is, in spite of that, when you look at social media, you look at the books that you read, the movies that you watch, there are a lot of inspiring individuals living this kind of life, living lives wherein pursuing what they want to do and they're making a living off it. So given that, why can't we live a life doing what we love? And of course, there are limited beliefs around this, that only a select few have this privilege. But what if you actually believe that you are capable of doing great things? And I think that this is really at the core of what a lot of people want deep down. People want to be able to shape their lives and live a life that revolves around doing things that they love to do, being of service to other people, and just being able to express themselves, share their story, share their skills. And I think there's something to this, and I guess I want to challenge you. How do you want to take that leap of faith? What does taking a leap of faith mean to you right now? And if this resonates with you, what can you do right now to move closer to taking that leap of faith? I think nomadic living has evolved throughout the past couple of years living abroad. And initially there was a high to the jumping around different countries, different cities. There's something romantic about living out of your suitcase, having that sense of newness whenever you step into a new place, where you'd sleep, what you'd eat, getting used to the neighborhood you're staying in and the people around you. But I think as I got older and I started wanting to have more grounded rituals and also a temporary home base, it really changed the way I saw living abroad and being a nomad. I'm glad I went through that process of jumping around, of exploring, of being able to adapt and adjust to different environment. I think there's a lot of insights to gain within that process. But I think that when you're starting to root yourself a bit, you get to know place more intimately. And I think that as compared to the months that I would stay in one place, compared to staying in a place for a year or 2 years, it's night and day. The difference is very significant. There's no right or wrong when it comes to those two kinds of living. But I think that in this season of my life, I appreciate the groundedness of being in one place. Just being able to get to know your neighborhood, your neighbors, the people around you, having places that you go to on a regular basis, having a home you can come back to every day. There's something about that, and it makes you appreciate the rituals. For sure, it can get boring, it can get very mundane, but I think that there's also beauty in that. And you do need to step out and you need to explore other parts of your neighborhood, of your city, so you can appreciate the sameness, the routine that you have in your life. It's all about perspective. Staying home for a couple of days, getting into your own routine, something beautiful about that. And sometimes you're just out all the time, exploring different cafes, different restaurants, or just walking around. They just complement each other. And I think that is really important to have that balance. So what's your experience of nomadic living. How do we hack self-doubt and insecurities? I think it requires this radical belief, this confidence that you need to work on day in and day out. It's really about having that conversation with yourself in spite of the doubts that come up, the negativity, maybe the anxiety, the insecurities that come up on a daily basis. It's all about countering these thoughts, these feelings, and you could write them down. You could write all the things that you're insecure about, and then you could counter them with things that you feel that are positive. There's really something about being able to counter the neurosis, to counter the negativity, the effort that it requires, the courage, the strength, the grit, because it does require work. But I think that's part of it. That's part of that process. The willingness to not accept that negative voice, the willingness to step in and tell yourself that I am capable of great things, that I am strong, that I am talented, that I am full of love, I'm full of grace. This is an exercise, and it's a daily exercise that needs to be practiced, it needs to be cultivated. If you don't practice that, then you become consumed by negativity, by fear, by anxiety, by heaviness. And why would you want that kind of life? So it's up to you. You have to make a choice every day, every moment. Am I going to accept this negative voice? Or am I going to step up? Am I going to fight by rewiring my brain, by telling myself that I am strong? I'm going to affirm myself with positivity, positive thoughts. We have to do that day in, day out. That's what it means to show up. That's what it means to be strong, to be able to have that courage. And it's worth it because this is your life. And we have to protect our lives. We have to build our lives, to build ourselves. And it's all about that positive reinforcement, like changing the narrative, finding the silver lining, finding that fresh perspective. And it takes constant reframing, constant refreshing, but it's always worth it.